thank you for joining me. Now, in my last mail haul video, I said I would do an unboxing on this Black Series 3.75 inch AT-ST. That was one of the items I received in said mail haul, and so here it is. And a little bit later on, I'll do a bit of a comparison with the vintage collection version of the AT-ST. So here is, it's sort of your standard Black Series packaging. The black and red box with the grayscale image. Looks pretty good actually, and I think it's getting a bit tired with the 6-inch figures, but this looks alright. I love the window box, so you get a if you just wanted to display it as is, you get a really good look at the vehicle. Now on this side of the box there's a bunch of information in Orobash, and I'd love to translate that or have someone translate it and let me know what it says. I guess it's just describing each part of the vehicle, but still, that'd be pretty cool. Maybe one day I'll get off my ass and do it. Not much going on the bottom of the box, and then on the back, this is bizarre. So you got various images of the vehicle, description of the vehicle in several different languages. You have a picture of the supposedly included figure, but it's not the included figure. I don't know what this figure is. I think it's an earlier version of the AT-ST driver that was included with an earlier version of the AT-ST vehicle. I don't know why they used that for this. Hasbro, the people running Star Wars at Hasbro really are a bunch of incompetent clowns. I don't know how they still have a job. It's bizarre. It really is bizarre. I might do a separate rant video on, I don't know if I should even bother. Clowns. So here is the actual figure that you get with the vehicle, and it is the same figure that I think this was released as a 2-pack in the vintage collection. Really cool figure. I believe that head sculpt is meant to be a likeness for Richard Marquand, the late Richard Marquand, who was the supposed director of Return of the Jedi. A lot of people think it was really George Lucas. Who knows? But yeah, that's a really cool figure. Great articulation, great sculpt. Really well done. And I think this version of the AT-ST is actually meant to be, given the colouring that you get on it, I think it's meant to be sand weathering. I think it's meant to be a Jeddah version, the version that we see in Rogue One. I'm not 100% sure, but it makes sense to me. So you get a couple of different cannons, sort of nose cannons. You can swap them out. This one has has 2 firing projectiles. So yep, that's good for the kiddies. Play feature. Yep, good for taking their eyes out. And then it also has another cannon, which is, I think it's meant to be more of a screen accurate type nose cannon. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Giving you the option of changing them over. Thank God this was before the dark times, the nerf times. Firing projectiles are okay, but nerf is just really unnecessary. And of course I got this around the wrong way at first. That is not how it goes. That's a bit better. Alright, so we'll take a closer look at the vehicle, but also in comparison with the vintage collection version. Now, right from the top, there's a few major obvious differences. The vehicles are cast in different coloured plastics. The vintage collection version is a bit darker. Then there's obviously the major paint differences. The vintage collection version has the brown feet, meant to be mud from Endor, and sort of browny weathering highlights here and there. The Black Series version has more yellowy feet and weathering highlights, I guess, which like I said before, I believe are meant to be represent sand from its appearance in Rogue One. And from the front, you can see the really obvious differences, the color of the plastic that they cast in, but also the nose cannons. They're painted differently. The vintage collection version has black paint on the tips and also on that side cannon, and the Black Series does not. The nose cannon has sort of highlights on the sides of the cannon. There really only seems to be one difference on the interior of these vehicles, and you can see there the vintage collection version, pilot seats are painted black. All the stickers and all that sort of things seem to be same as the Black Series version, but the seats in that are sort of painted a greeny blue colour. I have no idea why. There's a couple of more paint differences that you can see from the side. On the Black Series version, that sort of, I guess you'd call it a neck joint, is painted black. On the vintage collection version, it's just the standard grey plastic. And then on the vintage collection version, there's a couple of grey pipes there that have been painted black, and they have not been painted on the Black Series version. And then last of all, we'll check out the junk in the trunk, and there's a few more paint differences here. On the Black Series version, the whole rear section there is painted really darkly, while on the vintage collection version there's just a couple of sections that are painted black, and then there's a bit more weathering on the back of the cockpit, I guess you call it, of the Black Series version. So that was a look at the Black Series AT-ST, a vehicle that I picked up recently. Very happy to pick it up, and also did a bit of a comparison with the vintage collection version of the same vehicle. Sculpts are exactly the same, it's just a matter of paint variations, and well, they were cast in different coloured plastic as well. So, and actually the Black Series version, for whatever, I don't know what they did to the joints to stiffen them up a bit, the leg joints, but it seems to stand a bit better as well than previous versions. This vehicle's been released a number of times, but I really like this version. And of course you get the AT-ST Pilot super articulated figure with it as well, so very cool set. Absolutely wrapped to finally pick it up. I've been chasing this for a while, been trying to pick it up on eBay, but yeah, it was going to cost over $100 Australian to buy the vehicle and then ship it here from the States, so it's just ridiculous. And then to hear that people in the States are picking these up at Walmart for $15 or $20, whatever it is, because there's just a heap of them and they're not selling, and they were never released here in Australia. It's absolutely crazy. So I really don't know what's going on, but I'm glad to finally get it. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to comment, like and subscribe, and may the force be with you.